seduction, sex, lifestyle. For the true player at heart, Global SLR presents the real kings of pickup. Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Be the best and fuck the rest.
Okay, gentlemen, this is Vince Kelvin. With me here, Arash Dibazar, and with the real kings of pickup, this is the official podcast countdown to the Global Seduction, Lifestyle, and Relationship Convention coming up in Hollywood, September 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Now, some exciting news. Tomorrow, I'm going to start a video countdown all the way to the day of the Global SLR. Some of you guys followed it last year, because it's a journey. So you'll be kept in tune with the process that it takes to manifest something of that amplitude. In the meantime, we're ready to assist you. I heard you guys had a phenomenal call last week with Arash. I was in DC myself, just came back, settling down from the trip. It was very intense. I covered so many cities in so little time. Thank you guys who were in San Francisco and those of you who were in San Jose for Inner Alchemy, and those of you who were in DC, Dulles, and all those different cities around Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, Arash, my brother, how are you tonight?
I feel very good, brother. I feel very strong. I feel wild. I feel free. And I feel ready to help. So let's get going.
Excellent. Okay, so, gentlemen, go ahead. Who would like to start with a question? I see people still getting online. You can also give us a topic of your choice. But bring it up. Speak up. This is social arts. It's not about holding back, and nonverbal is what you'll do once you really have your gaming gear. Till then, make sure that you speak up. So, any questions, or we just go with a topic of our choice?
Hello, it's Mitch. Vince, how are you?
Well,
hello?
I heard Mitch loud and clear, and Raul will be next. So, Mitch, what is your question for Arash and myself?
Topic: dual direction. Never seem to be able to create it like you're helping that.
All right. So, right there, first thing, Mitchell is asking about something known as dual direction, which is my trademark. And he made an interesting statement. Never seem to be able to get it. Now, here's the ultimate question. How much time have you put into exercising it? Because this is not something you're going to wake up one morning and you're going to get it. So a basic exercise of dual direction that I don't know if you've done it yet, but that's your answer right there. I remember clearly giving it to a group that you were a part of not too long ago. And you always hear me mention, this is the exercise that 1% is going to do. The rest, they're going to go around making all those proclamations. It's hard. I'm having trouble with day game, night game. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. What they should really say is that I want it, but I'm not doing the exercise. So you take a journal. Yeah? And you can go hardcore. I like to go hardcore myself. So when I do exercises like that, I like to be in the hundreds. So I would write down 100, but we don't want to be overly demanding. Okay? When you start. So do at least 20. On one hand, you write 20 move towards statements. Okay? It could be, you're really cute, you're sexy. It could be, let me give you a hug. It could be anything of your choice that's directly moving towards your intention. Half of the page, you write those statements, and the other half of the page, a move away statement. For example, I hardly know you, we better be appropriate, I don't have too much time, I gotta get going pretty soon. As a basic exercise, and to be fair to yourself and the other listeners, if you really want to improve that, do the exercise. You're at a level where you should do at least 50 of each and report to us a week from now. And you will either have done it or not, but I guarantee that if you've done it, you will find it already much easier. Got it?
All right, I'm taking it on, Vince. I'm doing it by this time next week, and I'll report to you the results.
Excellent.
I'm
And I
giving
may
you
be
my
a
word.
bit old school, at that level, but I think that you never want to be the keyboard jockey who reads, and does all the exercise and never speaks to women. But nothing is preventing you, if you're the real alpha male, to dedicate 15 minutes a day. On a day when you're super busy, you do 5 minutes and have a journal and do some exercises like that. Okay? Put it down on paper and then drill it in front of the mirror, record yourself. Before you know it, you can only get good fast. I don't know if Arash, you want to add something to this or if you take the next question.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm assuming it's the next question. We had Raul a moment ago who was verbalizing
Yes,
something.
I'm here.
Raul, you ready to go?
Yes, good evening. In previous shows, you've talked about having long weekends of sex and things like that. And I wanted to ask you like a three-part question, if it's possible. And a little bit of how you practice or what you recommend for safe sex. The other one, how do you stay charged and can have, multiple, partners and stay, busy all weekend long, and also if you believe in semen retention or any other thing, anything else like that.
So I'm assuming this question is directed at me again.
Yes, I think so. I mean, I would love to hear Arash about it, especially because, having multiple partners and things like that, I will find it, how do you find out you're having that interaction with somebody who's safe and things like that?
Yeah, mine will be very quick. Always use a condom and smell the pussy. So from there, it goes forward. Look at their lips. Don't make sure there's no bumps in their face. And then use a condom, always, no matter if you have girlfriends or not. And then smell the pussy before you do anything with it. So those three things have kept me disease-free for a very long time. And I'll stay disease-free. That's for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That handles that part. Okay. And for me, I would say at the core, anything you do out of desperation, despair, out of fear of not having enough, then turns into a little bit of greed, and it's not fulfilling nor satisfying, and it's draining. Anything you do from the right place, out of possibility, out of excitement, out of sharing, out of expanding, giving, you got to watch out with that word, because many people have abused it and saying, yeah, you got to be a giver, but we don't mean to be a selfless giver. We mean to be so rich within that it spreads. Then it tends to juice you. It's always the same. So right there, you got to know, see if you push it and you have like sex, and it's out of desperation, it's going to drain you. Otherwise, it will supercharge you. The thing I practice, multi-orgasm for men. There was a book that I read about it. It was very technical years ago, and then it kind of came through a blend of Tantra practice and Kundalini. The way you do it, the pubic muscle. There's no other way to explain it. It's between your balls and your anus. You become more aware of this. It's one of those things, almost like when you start to meditate, it's not going to be supreme awareness of it. So those who are overly logical, which was the case for me when I started, may feel like you're not doing it, you're doing it wrong, or want another how, when in fact you're probably already doing it. And then when you're just about to come, you refrain. And you got to stop sometimes pretty abruptly. So if you were the girl, you got to tell her no, or come out. You breathe, you hold it, and that's an art in itself. But that's what I personally enjoy doing, and it took me a while to get a hold of it. And now sometimes I do it so much that I just want to hold that energy within. So I hope that answers your question. We can talk more about that at a later time. But I think to keep the call rolling and hear more from Arash, we take the next question, guys.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. All right, gentlemen. Who's asking the next question?
Okay, if no one's asking, I'll give it a shot. What's up, guys? This is David. My question is regarding behavioral cues, and I heard Vince mention this one time on one of the calls that women are attracted to a guy's behavioral cues, the persona, the personality, how you talk, how you carry yourself, and all that stuff. So sometimes, let's say if a guy isn't actively gaming a girl, but she happens to be observing him then she just gets attracted to him, right? Just because of the way he is. And she's like, oh, there's something about him, or oh, his personality or whatever. So what are some tips to like really tweak and work on our persona to get better and more attractive and more, all the best qualities, and kind of develop our personality and something related to that?
I'll let you go first, Arash.
Yeah, it's a very big general question. It's like what makes my behavior attractive to a woman is what I'm hearing. So it's not a one answer thing. The best way I can help with the answer would be to recognize that anything that you do that seems like you are doing it to make her impressed by you is going to act as a negative towards you. And anything that you do that seems like you're into your own world, totally enjoying what you do, and demonstrating leadership qualities and passion and ambition will make you more attractive. But it's a general question with a general answer to it right now. That's it for me.
Very good. Yeah, it is very general. But David, to follow up also with the idea of doing an actual exercise, okay? You got to realize that anytime you address a woman, you are being filtered by every guy that came before. And when I conduct those boot camps, when we walk the streets and spend a lot of time in field for hours at a time, you also observe what other guys are doing, guys who are not at the boot camp. Okay? So they kind of set a very low reference that will cause women to filter you, even though you are not them initially, through that. Okay? Perfect example is texting. The average guy will text stupidly out of desperation. I mean, once you have more girls around you, ask them. Say, show me some text from stupid guys that you never text back. And it can go up to 6 to 10 to 15 texts per day out of desperation. So then what do? You reverse that. So one thing you can do, you study the initial response of the average guy, and then you reverse it. You almost do the opposite of that, For example, you're walking down the street, and then you see a pretty girl pass by. Most guys going to stare pretty strong, and you will notice that his energy, almost like his body, is starting to be pulled towards her. Now, there's those who kind of hide from that, so they look from the distance like perverts, or pretend they're not looking, but they are, and they get all awkward. Okay, so that you completely avoid. And then there's those who look a little too proactively. So then you reverse that. You notice that she's there, but instead of your body and your energy gravitating towards her, you take that away a little bit. Now, most guys, when the girl notices that, the guy will look away. So that's the time when you look at her and you give a gentle smile. So I personally love to observe the mistake of the average guy and simply reverse it. Search no further. So you could chart it. Okay, David, thank you so much. Thanks for being on the call. And we're ready. I'm looking forward to see you on Thursday, by the way. We have a gathering here in Hollywood on Thursday on how to pull. It's
yes, I will definitely be there.
There's a lot. I know you witnessed the one that was part of the live stream, and you were very excited about it. Everybody was, so that's what inspired me to do it, and we're going to see if we could live stream that as well, possibly. Okay? But for now, I'll see you on Thursday.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Wait no longer. Search no further. You are about to progress faster than ever with the most innovative, multi-dimensional mega event of a lifetime. The Global Seduction, Lifestyle, and Relationships Convention in Hollywood, September 23rd, 24th, 25th, 2016. So much more than a summit, featuring only the best of the best true pillars of the pickup community. Vince Kelvin, Arash Dibazar, Bad Boy, Hypnotica, Adam Lyons, David Wygant, Akito Mosley, John Keegan, and James Marshall. No conference can even compare. Nothing ever like it. Lectures, workshops, parties, club access, boot camps, VIP dinner, party bus, and lifestyle exhibit. But hurry, price goes up as event gets closer. So get your ticket today at www.globalslr.com or call 323-309-3219. That's www.globalslr.com or call 323-309-3219.
Moving along, gentlemen, next question.
It's Shane from Canada. I'm wondering if you guys could clarify, I know there's more than one, but if you could clarify a few of the illusions we buy into about women and maybe the reality we really don't want to face, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this is the kind of questions that I really like. You said a few, so I'll give you a few. The illusion is that they're caring. They're not. They're some of the most uncaring creatures on the planet. They can't even care for their own child. That's a lie. There's nothing like a mother's love. Bullshit. 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 Okay? It's pure fucking garbage. That whole fucking thing. There's been women that drown their own kids for love. Women who will fucking do all kinds of nasty shit. They only use their kids. That's what they do. One, the woman is caring is not true. She's one of the most uncaring creatures on the planet. Disgusting. Two, they're beautiful. They're some of the ugliest things you've ever seen. Go look at them without makeup. Just look at them without makeup. And the problem is that you guys have lost your standards when it comes to women. If I look at a woman naked, okay? If I look at a woman naked, right now, I have a lot of women in my life. There's only one that looks good naked. Okay? Straight up. Now, I have some beautiful bodies around me. My 3 girlfriends are absolutely gorgeous. However, naked, just human body naked, stand there. There's only one that can stand there naked, and she would demonstrate that she eats properly, works out properly, and is aware of herself. You gotta be true. So true is that they're beautiful. They're not. They're fucking ugly. In fact, the reality of it is that men are much better looking than women. We have better muscle tone. We have better skin. We have better symmetry. If you don't believe that, then all you gotta do is look at a show like RuPaul's Drag Queen and see that men, when they dress up as women, they're a lot more beautiful than what women do. Women put on a lot of makeup, a ton of makeup, and it's important that you recognize that. And number 3, that when they fall in love, right, like they even understand that fucking word. Women don't understand love. They can't. They cannot love. They're not capable of loving, okay? Now, there might be an exception somewhere on the planet, but I didn't arrive on the planet to go find that one exception out of 10 billion people, okay? So women are not capable of love. They will swear by it, and when they say it, they may feel it in that moment, but they can't love. And there's a very simple reason for that, is that they are very insecure. They're constantly under threat. So if they say they love you, that love is under the umbrella of I need you, and without you, I don't feel like I can survive. That's what that means. Until she finds a solution to you, right, you're the problem. The problem that a woman has with you is very simple. When she falls in love with you, in quotes, she recognizes that she now is dependent on you and can't live without you. So this creates a very interesting situation in her fucked up little head. And that situation is now she feels these emotions for you, but she also now recognizes for the first time in her life that she really, really needs you. So now if you have other women in your life, as I do, or if you have a passion or a career that may take center stage, she starts seeing everything as a challenge to her. So she's stuck in this fucked up world where a part of her personality truly wants you to do well because she counts on you for resources. I'm seeing one of my friends go through this right now. He's a business owner. He has a wife, and she helps him in business. She's actually quite a hustler, but she's also holding him back. And I know he can't see it, and no matter what the fuck I say, I'm like, fuck that shit. That's his life. So they can't love because they're always insecure. A person who is insecure, when they say I love you, what they mean is, I cannot live without you, so please don't leave. That's not love, okay? That's some garbage shit. So, 3 illusions. They're so beautiful. No, they're ugly as shit without makeup and without their clothes on. You know, when a woman has a little bit of rolls hanging around, if you've become okay with that, and you're just like, oh, well, that's okay. I don't know why you think it's okay. I don't know why you don't hold them to higher standards. It doesn't mean you don't fuck around with them. I fuck around with all kinds of women. I'll fuck around with more. But I'm under no illusion that I'm fucking around with a beautiful woman. I'm not. Okay? I'm fucking around with a wet mouth and a wet pussy and some female energy. I'm playing with it. That's all it is in me. Two, they're not capable of loving. It's momentary. And then until they feel like they don't need you, which they actively try to realize that for themselves. And I forgot what the third one was. Oh, they're caring. Yeah, right. Okay, those are the three illusions that are very difficult for people to confront, and those are the things I live by. Okay, that's for me.
Wow, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that is so fucking brilliant, you know? So you must also, gentlemen, translate that then, those deeper understanding that are so accurate to the surface stuff that you always presuppose. Things like the two main ones that I see at the surface that are rooted in those deeper reasons is a lot of guys, they think that because she's a woman, that she's right, that her opinion matters, and her opinion is greater than yours. Okay? So make sure if you're just starting that you become aware of that. And the other one is beauty, to not realize that you're dealing with a vulnerable human being. It's very deceiving. Okay? To not realize that it's a human being that's even more vulnerable and sensitive than you. And think about how fun in the presence of beauty you completely forget that. And you are acting as if you're dealing with something that's almost like an object, a thing, like a robot that's programmed perfectly. So, thanks, Arash, for those deeper realizations. Because I had zero awareness of that before I heard those things from you, man. I mean this. It was really, really, really enlightening, helpful, and completely different reality. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. And I really like what you said right now about realizing their vulnerability, because that does really make a difference in seduction, everybody. You know, when you hear me talk, you sometimes go under the impression that I hate women. I don't hate them. I just see them for what they are, you know? So what he just said, what Vince just said, is key in being able to seduce a woman better, in recognizing how vulnerable she is. That helps you. Trust me, that helps you tremendously. You have to be very, as much as it sounds like I'm just like, you know what, fuck you, whatever, right? As much as it sounds like that, that's reserved in me for way later, okay? I'm very, very, like, walk on eggshells almost with my seduction. Not that I'm nervous or anything. I'm very aware how weak the woman is. She is so weak. She's like a paper doll that'll burn up, and I'm like a match. So you gotta keep the heat away in the beginning, okay? Okay, that's it.
Brilliant, brilliant. And we could also reverse the question, gentlemen, as a great exercise. You become aware of what up until now was your own impression of women. Because it's probably an imprint that you're rather unconscious of. And my own experience, being very genuine as a teacher, has been that I would embrace powerful principles and understanding, but they would be mudded, you know, almost like mud in water, by unconscious programs that I had accepted growing up. And it took me a long time to peel off. So ask yourself, here's an exercise, everybody. By now, I'm sure that you guys, you fucking get it. You need a journal and you need to exercise a little bit. You cannot just hear it and expect you will do it and that everything changes. You need to put your time in it, your part in it. So you start to write down, not what you're learning currently, but what pops up in crucial moments, and become more aware of your own impression, because it's probably very, very, very false and a lot worse than what you're aware of. In the meantime, well, let's continue to hustle. We got about another 15 minutes for the live call, so it's your chance. Who's asking the next question?
Sure, I'll go ahead. This is a follow-up to the boot camp where you identified that, you know, there was tension or whatever in the chest area, like a block that you said that you felt. And I've become more aware of that, and there is kind of tension in there, but it's happening when I go to the lamppost, not so much just in game, but everywhere else, is like we found out in the boot camp. And I think I'll have a lot more energy once I kind of relax more and get rid of it. But I guess my question is, what exactly is it? Is it just like stress, society that's beating me up, or like what are some more things I can do to kind of get rid of it, like chakra clearing or whatever?
I think there is a shortcut, and I'll briefly mention something, and then I'll pass it to Arash, because there's another realization that you had closer to the end of that weekend that was even more potent, you know. So you got to pay attention to that as well. For the guys in DC, you know, we have a new group, and that was the pilot thing. For anyone who's a trainer in training, if you're doing good in the trainers in training, you're invited to a higher level, which is called Special Forces. And in DC, I shared some very deep stuff with Special Forces. One of them is, okay, you got to be aware that all of us, we carry an extreme burden. That burden is called life. It's pretty fucking hardcore, you know. That would make a good reality show. You got to embrace life, knowing that it's going to pass. You got to embrace looking as good as you can right now, knowing that you're going to age. And I could go on like that. Then let's assume you get your shit together. You're bombarded by things that could happen in the world. And they're often like far away from home, but sometimes a little closer. And then suddenly people that you care for and so on, they fucking disappear. They're gone, and they will not return on this planet. That is enough for a person's threshold of anxiety to be already quite high. Okay? So for that, you need practices that will help you be more at ease with those things long term, you know. And you find them, we provide them. You don't necessarily need to do all the work. We did it because we include that in our practices, in our own ways. Okay? So it's already included when you work with us, but you gotta be aware of that. Then, if you don't manage your affairs on a daily basis, it will put another layer on top of that. And so it's easy for it to go a little bit overboard, but you're on the right track. You're becoming aware of it. The simple fact that you're aware of that, that's a priceless awareness. Okay? Now use it to correct. Whenever you notice it, do whatever can help you. And you go, well, should I do chakra clearing and so on? You got to pick one thing and start with it. You know, you have in my library a program on chakra clearing. Anyone who's ever done it consistently, like for 30 days, 15, 20, 30 minutes a day. And that's not the only thing, but that's one very potent thing. Has experienced great progress. Now, I pass it to Arash, and Arash noticed, and it was probably also the result of everything that he was sharing during Inner Alchemy, that you were shifting during Inner Alchemy. And when Arash mentioned it, I looked up and I was like, wow, you know, you were at a different frequency. So how about you start to dwell on that a little bit? So I pass it to Arash, but be mindful of that. That was quite amazing what was happening there.
Yeah, it really was. And I tell you, I can answer you right now, but you need to do a Skype session with me, Paul. I can handle the shit out of that, because this is not like a, you know, I'm not going to say one thing right now, and next thing you know, the tension in your chest is going to clear, you know? So it's not going to happen like that. You need to invest some time, you need to invest some money, and you got to ask yourself, how much is that worth to you? Okay, now, can I do it? Fuck yeah, I can do it. I can do it so fucking easily when your head would spin. What I can help you with right now, just based on what Vince said, and this is just really out of respect for Vince, because he put me in, I was going to say, hey, that's it. Do a Skype session if you want to handle it. But out of respect for Vince and what he said in the observation, it's really simple. A lot of times, something will shift, and we go back to it. Let me explain to you what I mean. The person is no longer afraid of swimming because they know how to swim, and then they keep thinking about when they were afraid of swimming, and then they keep that alive inside of themselves, even though it's no longer the condition. Human beings are very good at recreating an old negative condition when it's gone. Okay? Short hint for you is that night when I referenced your state right there. I said, look, boom, take a look right now. And everybody was nodding, and we all saw it changing. That's it. That's it. You had it. Okay? Now, it's not like I'm not walking around with any, well, I'm not right now walking around with any tension, but it's not like that tension never arrives in my body, right, when things happen. It's just that it's not important to me. To you, it's very important. And because it's very important to you, it'll be alive, it'll always be there, because you make it so fucking important, you know? So you're sometimes you start handling something that's already handled, and then it becomes an issue again. Okay? So be aware of that, and then if you want to fucking really handle it, then you do a Skype session. That's the way you handle stuff. You know, you go, okay, I gotta put in my time, I gotta put in my energy, and then I'll make it happen. That's that.
Yes, Paul. And you respond very well to Arash. And Arash is aligned in such a truth that it's going to be very beneficial. And I witnessed you also. I spent a whole weekend with you, and I noticed when I share all the pickup stuff, you find great appeal. You do your best. And then I also noticed, you may not even notice it yourself, but you respond extremely well to Arash because he's aligned with that deeper truth, and you're very, very bright. I remember hearing Arash say those words, that you're very, very bright man. And so you know what to do. Contact Arash, do a session, and that's awesome. So looking at the time,
it's easy. You don't have to contact me. You go to thearashdibazar.com for anybody listening. The sessions are right there. You just register. I get the email. I'll contact you. Okay? Don't message me. I'm not gonna answer it. Okay.
Got it. All right. Gentlemen, probably final 2-3 questions of the evening.
Hey, guys, this is Terrence Lee from Miami, and my question is, so in Arash's product, Own Yourself, he spoke about saying the farther you lead the woman away from her reality, the more she's going to be naturally attracted to you, basically creating a fantasy. So my question is, when it comes to creating a fantasy, should you create the fantasy or verbalize the fantasy based on what you like, or should you focus on creating the fantasy based on what you know about the woman?
Always based on what you know about the woman. Each woman is your target. You have to study your target. A reference for that would be in hypnosis. It's called pacing and leading. I can't just suddenly enter the person into a brand new reality. Okay? Some people, yes. It's going to be a very, very small percentage of the population. You could walk up to someone and say, sleep, and everybody will fall asleep. Okay? But that's not great hypnosis. That's just basically the person is so fucking entranced all day that they just, you know, outside of that, how would you take somebody who's not, let's say, in quotes, easily hypnotizable, right? Then you pace their reality. So, for example, we would say something like this right now. I would say, well, obviously it's our Monday call right now. Vince is on, I'm on. There you are, Terrence, asking this question. And you're wondering what the answer is going to be. So as I give you the answer, you can start to imagine how the answer is going to... Okay, now, see, I started tasting it, what's going on, and now I'm beginning to lead. So I stopped talking at that moment. When I started telling you, and now you can start imagining, and boom, that's leading. So when it comes to seduction, you taste her reality, then you lead. So, for example, you have to understand about her, okay? So maybe, possibly, she is a single mother. Oh, God, they're the fucking disgusting kind, by the way, stage. But let's just say she's a single fucking mother, as I'm talking to one right now. And she is, I'm talking to a bunch, but there's one that I actually really fucking like. And her concern is a stable environment for her daughter and having time for the daughter, all this type of bullshit. So it would be very easy. It wouldn't be like, forget about it. Have some time for yourself. No, that's too hard. So then you soften it up and you go into, well, I know it's Monday night. Your daughter probably has school tomorrow, and I know you take care of her a lot. I'm wondering if there's any time that you ever, you know, she goes to bed early or she goes to her parents' to her dad's house, and where you make some time for yourself, maybe have some drinks or go to a movie or something. What do you like to do to have fun when it's time for you to let go? Now I'm kind of leading. You see that? It's softer. But I got to know that about her. So the answer is real simple. You always lead after you pace. Pacing is just like if we're walking together, I catch your pace. We walk at the same pace, and then I start to walk a little faster, and you keep up with me. That will be pacing and leading. So everybody needs to understand that when it comes to seduction. Okay, you will always have to arrive in her world first and get a good understanding of it, then move her out of her world. Okay? That's the way I do it, and I think that's the highest level to do it in. That's my answer for that.
Excellent. Beautiful.
This summer, treat yourself with the dream hot babe packed vacation and education of a lifetime. One entire week, ultimate, hardcore, badass, round-the-clock training and pickup with the world's top gurus. Announcing the 2016 7th Annual Pickup Academy, Total Manhood Makeover, July 11th to 17th, 2016, in Venice Beach and Hollywood, California, with Vince Kelvin, Arash Dibazar, and such guest speakers as Hypnotica, Aikido, Adam Lyons, and many more surprises. Party bus, makeovers, dance classes. Go to www.seductioncoaching.com to reserve your spot. Hurry, sliding scale. Catch the best deal now.
We'll move to the next question then.
All right, Vince. This is Jason. I got the last question. Jason from Houston.
Yeah, Jason.
My question
how are you?
is, I'm good. I'm good, man. I've been practicing, getting out more than usual. You know, just practicing, doing what I gotta do, you know. So my question is, I go out sometimes and I see, you know, girls that I want to talk to. Sometimes I don't act right away. And sometimes these girls are so attractive that, you know, I keep making eye contact, or it gets awkward after a while, you know, and I don't know how to recover from that, where I go talk to them, because if I talk to them after that, it seems awkward. But I know that's also something that's probably just in my head. So what is some suggestions or tips you can give on that?
Well, I think you already got the answer for that tonight. You heard Arash. You need to change your perception. And it's funny because one thing we do a lot as guys, or any human being that wants to change, we accept the understanding in the moment it is given to us, but we forget it when we would most need it. So in that moment, notice, what did you say? They are so fucking beautiful. There you are hypnotizing yourself. You're forgetting you're dealing with a human being. The person is vulnerable. So I wonder what would happen if you were to hear the brilliant distinctions that Arash mentioned, and imagine almost like looking through glasses in that moment. Not before, not after, not when it's convenient, not just during the call, but in that moment to recall it. And watch out, guys, because, you know, when we're at Project Hollywood, I noticed we lived with about 15, 20 guys at any given time, and they were doing a little bit better, but every time one was to go back to the, oh my God, she's this, and that, that's when they would get stupid again, and that's when all the stuff they had let go of, they would go and get it back. Okay? So, number one, you're looking at a vulnerable human being. If it was a little old lady, how would your response be different? Okay? And then, by the way, I'll share as a bonus to the guys who stay on the call afterwards, a great exercise to desensitize yourself. Because we're forgetting. We're looking at the flesh, not remembering that's a vulnerable human being inside. If it was overweight, elderly gentleman, and that was the exact same situation, you would feel completely different. Then, be authentic. Okay? You don't have to hide from what you're experiencing. It's encouraging to others. Everybody finds it refreshing when we become a little more authentic. So, you're looking at someone a little too long, and then you notice that you're looking at them and it was a little too long, walk towards them in that moment and say, yeah, I know, I was looking, I was overly looking. You're distracting, you know? And then maybe even open up the topic and say, but you know, I feel like that on the outside, and bring up that topic of like, there's a difference between how people look on the outside and how they feel on the inside, and talk about those things right away. Okay? So gentlemen, one of my signature trademark is I don't frame good or bad. Whatever I start to sense or feel, that's my call to act. If, I don't know, like I'm looking at someone and suddenly I'm eating something and a bite drops out of my mouth, I'm not going to go, oh shit, no, that's so embarrassing. I'm going to use that, walk towards the person, use that to open, and then go side to side and turn it into a topic. In that instance, I would say, well, that's funny when stuff like that happens. You know, some people, they make it like such a big deal. They go, oh my God, they want to hide. Some people, they don't give a shit. What about you? I'm curious. What would you do if, let's say, you're looking at someone and suddenly you got food coming out of your mouth? And that becomes the topic. And the meta message is, I'm at ease with myself. I'm at ease with the awkward. I'm at ease with anything. And knowing that women undergo a lot more emotional turmoil than we do, don't you think that's a great attraction switch when they can tell I'm around someone that their threshold of dealing with what's awkward, unpleasant, bizarre, that most people would run away from is higher. Thus, I'm safe. And they're all the old mystery method attraction switch. It's like you have a switchboard in front of you and boom, you turn them all on in one shot, almost like a master fader on a mixing board. That always was one of my questions. Whenever people would line up attraction switches, or there's this one, there's that one. As a musician, I had learned that you have something called a master fader, where you can change the mix, everything, the volume, in one shot. It affects all the other tracks. So I always dwell on, okay, what would be the sub-communication that would include all attraction switches? And that's one of them I found right there. When any guy would go, oh, shit, that's awkward, what should I do? And you go in right there, that's protector of loved one, you name the list, and so on. They're all lined up in that meta message. Sorry, Arash, I got excited. It always happens through the call. So why don't we have one more question, or Arash, I don't know if you want to pitch in for our buddy Jason, or take the next question, and then we wrap it up for the recorded segments. You guys find the podcast at KelvinsPodcast.com. We're in the process of having it realkingsofpickup.com, but it takes a little bit of time for it to be on iTunes and so on. So
yeah, I do want to say something to Jason, actually. Jason, I've known you for a while, and you need to understand, you know, I don't know. I don't know if your financial situation is good, bad. I can take guesses at it. But you got to understand, I'm at a totally different power level. You need to do a Skype session. You got to do whatever the fuck it takes, because I'm about to blow you away, dude. I'm telling you right now. You see, what's happening, everybody, is I'm hearing you guys. It's getting more and more difficult for me to teach like this, because there's so much surface. You guys are swimming on top of the water, asking questions about the depth of the ocean. Okay? It takes a certain instrument to get down there. Now, you could ask all the fucking questions in the world up there, and it's not going to give you a glimpse of what's going on down there. Alright? What I got to do is put the fucking gear on you and say, come down right now. And then drag you down all the way down to the depth so you get a glimpse of what's there. Then you come back up, and you're never going to be the same. Now, you're not going to stay down there. I'm telling you right now, you know. I've done 4 Skype sessions in the last 4 days, and I'm really, really enjoying the shit out of them, because it's allowing me to do my magic. It's allowing me to do what I can do and blow people's minds completely. And one of the guys, I told him, I said, for the next 3 days, he may be online right now, Rick F., who goes talk to them, okay? I said, for the next 3 days, you're going to have this power that I'm going to give you, and then it's going to go away. He contacted me yesterday. He said, hey, man, I mean, this is ridiculous, and how do I keep it? I said, you don't keep it. You don't keep it. You know, it's like, here's an Excalibur sword, right, that I drew out of the stone. Go out with it and see what it's like. Oh, my God, he just messaged me on Facebook. That's how crazy. I literally said his name. He just messaged you right now. Okay, crazy. So, here's Excalibur. Go out there and slay some dragons. And then you come back, and Excalibur's got to be put back. And you're like, well, now I want it. Good. So now you have a few choices, right? There's a price to pay to get that Excalibur sword, and I've paid for it my entire fucking life, and I still pay for it. So I get to own it. I get to have it in my hand. You, on the other hand, no matter what you do, you can go down to the depths of the ocean, but you're not going to stay there, because you have to restructure your whole fucking life. That's what you're missing. The questions being asked, you have to restructure your entire nervous system, your entire life, to get the answer. See, you got to get that. That's why I'm having a hard time teaching. I keep telling you guys, if it wasn't for Vince, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I wouldn't even do the goddamn boot camps anymore. I do it because I love being around Vince, because I admire him, because he has been a mentor to me, both his products and with his energy, and a great, great friend, one of my best friends. So I enjoy that, right? And then the upshot of it is you get to hear me talk for an hour or two, whatever the fuck is going on. The money doesn't do shit for me. The money that you guys give doesn't do jack shit. I mean, you're barely paying. This is free right here. So you got to think about it, right? What I'm telling you right now is that you're asking questions about the depths of the ocean, and you don't have the equipment to get down there. So even a basic question like David G asked, which was, okay, what are some qualities that she's going to be attracted to me? That is, you're going to have to, let me tell you something. You're going to have to restructure the real answer. You're going to have to restructure all your belief system, your nervous system, the way you carry yourself, the way you live, your life, the way you interact with every individual, including your parents, including your teachers, including Vince and I. That is the only time you're going to have that answer. Until then, what will happen is the answer will inspire you to go do something little, and then you'll, of course, gain a little bit, but you're about to crash, okay? You're about to fucking crash. Now, the people who are online right now listening, who have ended up fucking a hot girl, or have ended up losing their virginity when they were virgins, I tell you, you be honest with yourself, you also went from the highest high to the lowest low because you didn't know how to handle it. You were not equipped for that level. This is the problem. You understand that? The people, for example, myself, Vince, Hypnotica, the people who have become legendary in this thing and who have lasted, right? Not in and out of the game, lasted, proven that they're still relevant. These people, if you look at them, they don't live ordinary lives, okay? They don't live ordinary lives. None of us live ordinary lives at the very top. And it's not because we get women that we don't live ordinary lives. We get women because we don't live ordinary lives. We get women because we have been in the process of internal change our entire fucking lives. We've never stopped. I haven't stopped. I won't stop. Vince doesn't stop. We're the guys that 24 hours a day, whether you're there or not, are working on ourselves. When Vince and I have a conversation outside of these calls, what do you think the conversations are about? About realizations of life, about magic, about power, about women on another level. So please understand, this is the problem you're facing. Okay? You're asking a deep question from the surface. Now, surface questions sound like this. And these questions can be answered very easily, and you'll benefit from it. Here's a surface question, okay? I'm here in game. I, for example, have a hard time opening women. What product do you recommend that would help me with that? That has a very specific answer. This book or this DVD goes over that. Thank you very much. I'm going to now go apply and come back. See, now that is a very surface question with a surface answer, and that answer fits. But a question like, okay, how do I get over the fear of touching her? You're going to have to restructure your whole fucking nervous system. You're going to have to change the way you interact with the entire fucking world. That includes your parents, even if you talk to them once a year. Then you'll get it. And you go, no, Rod, that's too extreme. It's not too extreme. Let me explain something to you. On the entire fucking blue planet, I could count the number of people that have the ability to go out there and day after day after day after day get beautiful women, make them fall in love, and fuck them. So it may sound extreme, but even your celebrities can't do what we can do. So you're asking a question of people that have this skill. And the answer is not going to be through a phone call like this. These phone calls are to inspire you to act. Just get that. They're to inspire you to act. Not act as in, now go out there and try to kiss her. You're going to fail. If you do that, you're going to fuck up. Even if you get it right twice, you get it wrong third time, and then you get slapped and you go, oh my God, this shit doesn't work. It's inspired to help you to act, for example, to go to the Global SLR, to grab the next DVD set, to get coaching. I don't even like selling DVDs anymore. I'm about to remove all my shit from Selective Instinct. Just pay attention. Give me a few months. All my shit will be gone very soon. Because that's not how people learn. And I cannot do this fake thing anymore with people. So if you want to learn, you get coaching. And then it comes down to, but I don't have the money. You know what? You do have the fucking money. You don't have the fucking motivation. That's the fucking difference, okay? You figure out how to get the money. In today's world, you can go get money. You just don't have the motivation. There's a big fucking difference. Well, Vince, there you go.
Well, you gentlemen know what to do now. And that wraps up the recorded segments.
You've been listening to The Real Kings of Pickup with Vince Hollywood Kelvin and Arash motherfucking Dibazar. Brought to you by www.globalslr.com. Call live every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to get your questions answered. Just dial 701-801-1220. Then enter 129-779-160, followed by the pound key. To get your free pickup starters kit, go to www.seductioncoaching.com now. And remember, stay sexy.